Yo, what's going on, nicotine fiends and cigar enthusiasts? Welcome back to another cigar review brought to you guys by the crew here at Don't Inhale. Today in this session, I'm going to be telling you guys about the Caldwell Silent Shout. And right off the bat again, I gave this cigar a 15/30, which is a 5 out of 10. And here's the breakdown as to why I gave it that score. So if you guys don't know, Caldwell has this series, it's like the impromptu series or the lost and found series that he does with his friends, Sears and Balato, where they would go to like cigar factories, and if there are random piles of cigars that are already rolled and finished, but they may be abandoned because the original project like didn't, I guess, financially fell apart, or they just lost interest in it, they'll just be like abandoned cigars. So he'll just like buy it from the factory, slap his own band onto it, and sell it under his umbrella. So this cigar is part of that series, and it was released in February of 2015. Because it's lost and found, the wrapper, binder, and filler are, no one knows what they are. He doesn't know. The factory they forgot also, and they just, sold it to him as is. So off the, texture, it was dry, slightly rough on the hands, but it was a pretty decent pack and construction, not a lot of soft spots in it. The smell of the wrapper gave a woody, citrusy smell. And the cold draw was that, traditional barnyard tobacco flavor profile on the cold draw. Off the initial combustion, I got a mocha taste on the palate with a slight lingering cinnamon spice on the tongue. Out the retrohale, I got a chocolate syrup that was coated over like a walnut or one of those like more like earthy like nut profile with a barely like floral spice stinging the sinuses. And then on the first third of the cigar, on the palate, I got a chocolate mineral earthiness with a slight floral spice. And then out the retrohale, again, it was that mocha with a medium cinnamon spice that was barely bothering my sinus. The burn was pretty good, the ash was pretty good, and there was decent smoke output. And then on the second third of the cigar, it kind of took a step back. Leather started coming out. More earthiness came out. There was a slight cocoa powder on the flavor profile, and then there was a little nutmeg spice finish on the palate. Out the retrohale, it was this really dark, bitter chocolate with a medium cinnamon spice that was, again, barely bothering the sinuses, but you can definitely tell that it was there. Burn line was pretty good. Smoke volume was also pretty good. And then on the final third of the cigar, it took another step back. Now that cocoa powder was still there, but it was just this dry smoke. Like it just left the palate feeling very, it wasn't a good aftertaste on the palate. And then the texture of the smoke and taste was also kind of like a rough, peaty earthiness. And then there was a slight floral spice as well. Out the retrohale, I got a slight black pepper spice over a cocoa almond covering with a little molasses sweetness. So yeah, overall, the body of the cigar, mild plus, not anything, crazy about that flavor profile. Strength, mild to medium, I would say. Flavor-wise, I gave it a 5 out of 10. It was average, like not a horrible cigar, but it wasn't anything that put it, above average. Construction of the cigar, I gave it a 6 out of 10 just because the final third, it started to crack and split on me. The price of the cigar, I'm not sure. I was gifted this by, John, but I looked around online. I think you can buy it for about $10. So now I'm comparing it to other $10 cigars, and I think this falls below average for a $10 cigar, so I gave it a 4 out of 10, which brought the overall score to a 15 out of 30, which is at 5 out of 10 that you guys heard at the beginning. If you guys are going to smoke this cigar, give yourself about an hour and 30 minutes to smoke it. And yeah, go find it, try it for yourself, and maybe you'll have different opinions, or we might share the same opinion about the cigar. But regardless, get to burning those cigars and enjoy them, but don't inhale.